Hello, this is Monica Reinagel, and you are listening to the 400th episode of the Nutrition Diva podcast. And today we're talking about eating with the seasons and what benefits this may or may not deliver. Marissa wrote to me this week and said, I recently met someone who's lost a significant amount of weight, and among the many rules that his nutritionist told him to follow was to eat only fruits and vegetables in season. Does the science support this? Eating with the seasons has become a very popular idea, and it can certainly be a fun and delicious way to add variety to your menus. And I also appreciate the way that it keeps me a little bit more in touch with the natural world and how our food is grown. In the spring, we savor the early spring greens, radishes, scallions, and peas. And then in the early summer, we have beets, strawberries, and asparagus. And then as the summer rolls on, we gorge on cucumbers, tomatoes, beans, zucchini, corn, and peaches. And in the fall, it's fun then to turn to the cool weather crops, apples, carrots, broccoli, and pumpkins. Now, for those of us who live in cooler climates, there's really not that much to harvest between the last fall pumpkins and those first early spring peas. So does that mean that we shouldn't eat vegetables in the winter? And then what about those string beans and tomatoes that we put up during the summer? Would getting them out in January break the rules? And there are lots of nutritious fruits and vegetables that are never in season where I live. Things like avocados and oranges and olives. So can I only enjoy these if I'm visiting California or Mexico or Greece? For most of us, I think it would be impractical to eat only seasonal fruits and vegetables all year round. More importantly, I'm not at all sure that eating strictly with the seasons necessarily ensures the best nutrition. Of course, freshly picked local produce is likely to be more nutritious and more flavorful than produce that's been harvested far away and has spent days or weeks in storage or transport. And if you're shopping at the local farmer's market, seasonal local produce is pretty much all you're going to find there, so have at it. At the grocery store, however, there's really no guarantee that those tomatoes on display were picked in your time zone, even if it's the height of the local tomato season. Given the realities of modern food distribution, they could just as easily have been grown last month on another continent, or even in a hothouse where seasons are artificially created. In fact, some of the most nutritious produce you can find at the grocery store is actually in the freezer case, because most of that is picked and flash frozen within hours of being harvested, locking in all that nutrition for you to enjoy year round. You know, freshness is not the only factor in how nutritious or flavorful a vegetable may be. It may have just as much to do with the particular variety that's been grown, how it was grown, and how it was processed and stored. And you might want to also check out my article on hydroponically grown vegetables. Now, before I talk about whether eating in season can save you money, I want to thank our sponsor for this week. Nordic Naturals is known for making the freshest and purest omega-3 fish oils. You know, more than 27,000 studies have been completed on omega-3 fats, making them one of the most researched nutrients in the world. And those researched benefits of omega-3s include support for the health of the heart, joints, brain, eyes, nervous system, mood, and immunity. Nordic's award-winning omega-3 formulations are not only proven pure and effective, they taste great. And they apply that same commitment to quality, purity, and efficacy to all the other nutrients essential to your health as well. Check them out at nordicnaturals.com and use the promo code DIVA and you'll get 15% off your order. And now, will eating in season save you money? You would think that eating in season would be cheaper, seeing as you would be reducing the overhead costs associated with storage and transport of that produce. However, this is not always the case. Small farms don't have anywhere near the economy of scale that big operations do. So that local fresh-picked peach may well cost you more than the frozen peaches at the grocery store. Not that it wouldn't be worth every extra penny. I'm just saying that This idea that buying only local seasonal produce is going to save you tons of money is kind of a romantic notion. And finally, if eating with the seasons played any role in your friend's weight loss, it can only be because trying to follow this rule limited his options so much that he ended up eating less. But whether your goal is to lose weight or simply to improve your nutrition, I can't see any value in a rule that causes you to eat fewer vegetables for any reason. Here's the bottom line on eating with the seasons. I think it's a great idea to buy as much local seasonal produce as you can find and you can afford. It's fun to enjoy different fruits and vegetables as they come in and out of season, but I certainly wouldn't hesitate to round your choices out as needed with frozen produce or any fresh produce that looks fresh, appealing, and is a good value no matter where or when it was grown. And I wouldn't avoid a fruit or vegetable simply for the sake of eating with the seasons. Thank you for that great question, Marissa, and thanks to all of you for listening. You'll find a transcript of today's show at quickanddirtytips.com, where you can also access the entire Nutrition Diva archive. You'll find me at nutritionovereasy.com and on Facebook and Twitter. I'm at Nutrition Diva, and I'd love to hear from you. Have a great week, and remember to eat something good for me.